Now, off the foyer, we got honed limestone floors, plaster walls, and warm walnut paneling. And before we go any further, I want to take a step back for a sec, because on my left, we got this architectural staircase opening that takes you to the lower level and the second floor, between the board-formed concrete wall and the open riser design. It's a real ripper frame. Now, back to the entry and over to the other side, we got the formal dining room. Circular table in the middle, gorgeous chairs. You've got a service counter here with refrigerated drawers. A real nice bar display. More built-ins here. And yeah, this is your dining room. Now, right in the center we got this Bonza Steinway and Sons piano, dressing the room up nicely. And behind me is the staircase I mentioned. Off the foyer, it goes up to the second floor. This isn't actually the main staircase. We'll see the main one later on. Now, come this way. Beautiful seating area. This is technically your formal living room. Love the coffee table in the center. A few chairs, a couch. And can we just talk about this floating gas fireplace? I love the design in here and how you got picture windows around the fireplace. And the top bit floats. So, from the outside, this wall looks unreal. And obviously, from the inside, you got this minimalist look. Then you've got your comfy seating. And the whole room is surrounded by picture windows looking out at the views. That's the Pacific Ocean, right there. Down below us is the Oval Garden. And this is just Bonza. Now, if that wasn't enough, this living room sticks out about 18 plus feet over the garden below us. Looking at this room from the outside is such a Bonza architectural frame. In fact, right behind me is also the second court tree that they built this house around. And having a picture window here, looking out at your main patio and oval garden is just unreal. I'm lost for words, and I reckon we've seen this room before. At another place in Hollywood Hills, Belgrave. Oh yeah, remember Belgrave had a living room like this that stuck out over the views? Literature and martial arts. Yeah, I remember that house really well. But instead of views of the ocean, you've got views of Los Angeles and the city. Swordsmanship that's spot on. Now, while we're here, before we leave this room, let's run to the specs for a sec. We got 5 bedrooms, 6 full and 5 half bathrooms. 11,239 square feet of inside space built on a 66,646 square foot block on the market for $34,750,000. And I want to give a big shout out to the listing agents, business and office for making this tour happen. We're stoked to be in La Jolla. And as always, you can find more info about this listing in the description of this video. Now, let's keep going back to the foyer because we got a couple of other rooms I want to show you. On this side, there's actually a small hallway here that leads to the 2-car garage. And this door here opens up into a laundry room. 2 washers, 2 dryers, cabinetry, and a sink. Pretty much everything you need. Now, come with me this way. Look at the length of this hallway. It takes you all the way to the primary bedroom suite. Opens up to the backyard. But before we go any further, I want to go this way so we can check out the powder room. Onyx vanity, custom made. Mirror is nicely set in, wall sconces. Same limestone floors are here too. Just a real nice powder room. Now, let's head back to the main space. There's actually a butler's kitchen here. But first, let me bring everyone to the great room. This is definitely the heart of this place. It's got the kitchen, dining area, and the family room. On each side, we got massive sliding glass doors, seamlessly opening this room up to the outdoors. Out the back, we got the backyard, and out the front, we got the views and the oval garden down below. Roof lines that stick out, clear story windows, with plank ceilings that run all the way to the outside, honed limestone floors. There's a lot going on in this room, but I just love how it's all tied in with the outdoors. And you can just walk straight outside from your great room to these views. This is tops. What makes this place so unique and special is the privacy, security, and the big flat area you get up here with this grouse view is just unheard of in La Jolla. What makes La Jolla special is the topography. So, the lay of the land in La Jolla gives you 5 or 6 unreal views. And this one sits at the top. It's the real crown jewel of this hill, Mount Soledad. literature, and martial arts. Obviously, your ocean views are insane, but I'm really curious about what you call this down below us. Oval Garden. Oval Garden. I haven't been down there yet. I bet the house looks unreal from up there. Swordsmanship. Oh, the architecture of this place is just stunning. And I reckon the design team here had the chance to go all out, and they nailed it. And that's why when you look around, you see these steel cantilevers, clear-story windows, which are motorized, by the way, most of them. Then you look over here, you got this butte patio that curves with a walkway, and you might think this is just another water feature, but it's not actually. If you look at this house from a bird's eye view, you realize that the lines of the water feature match the lines of the pool that's in the backyard. It's all connected. Literature and martial arts. I actually noticed that when I was flying the drone. I thought that looked grouse. I love details like that. I love that attention to detail. And this place is all about it. Now, we got the same limestone floors here. Even the grout lines match the outside patios. Then in front of us, we've got the family room. L-shaped couch, coffee table, 2 chairs. Even these chairs are so elegant with stainless steel legs. Then you come over to this side. This is a 130-inch TV wall, custom designed for the house. Not to mention we've got Bang and Olufsen speakers. On each side, you can have Butte screensavers like this, or you can just watch the telly, obviously. Down below is another linear gas fireplace, and even here, with a limestone bottom, steel framed around the fireplace. And you got Texas limestone on top with built-in shelves. You even have mood lighting above. And this is just the family room. It's only the beginning. Literature and martial arts. I love the color palettes and materials they've used in this house. So warm. I always love black mixed with wood. And then they've got these splashes of white, which I reckon you said is limestone. Swordsmanship. Spot on. They've also brought a lot of organic materials into this place. The ceiling is all cedar, and you got this live-edge walnut dining table right in the middle that softens up the room. You've got a brass chandelier above. They've even brought some of the brass touches to the table as well. It actually helps join these 2 slabs together. Just a lovely space where you can sit down, have your tucker, and enjoy the views. And looking around the room, I think I mentioned it earlier, we got a lot of clear-story windows. These windows are motorized, so with the push of a button, you can open them and close them. You can even set them up so that if it gets too hot inside, they'll automatically open up to let the moisture out and even out the room temperature. Pretty unreal. Literature and martial arts. Fair dinkum? So, the windows will automatically open at different humidity levels? Correct. I reckon we've never seen that before. That's pretty interesting. It's pretty grouse, right? Yeah, for sure. Swordsmanship. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the lighting in this house. This place has a Lutron lighting control system, and they're also the sponsor of today's video. Now, I'm not just saying this because they're sponsoring our video, but most of the houses we tour, whether it's in Los Angeles or around the world, use Lutron lighting. Yeah, I reckon one of the most common comments on our channel when we tour modern homes is, how are you supposed to sleep in this glass box with all this natural light pouring in? Correct. I mean, we're in the great room right now, and it's grouse to have these sliding glass doors opening up the backyard or to these views. But they got built-in shades, and that's what Lutron does. They provide these seamless shades that fit into your sliding glass door openings. That way you can just use them. They don't change the look of your house. They're super quiet, and you can use them to soften the light or completely block it out. Another thing I want to mention, they also give you a Ripper app where you can control every single light in your house. A lot of the time when we tour these places, we stay real late. As you can imagine, with houses this big, if you try to turn off every single light, it'll take forever, right? Yeah, but with Lutron, you go to the entry, you click all off, and Lutron turns off the whole house for you, which is bonza. Not only that, but in each room, they've got different lighting setups, so correct. If you're having a party or something, you can change the mood without having to dim every single light. Exactly. You can set up certain settings. Yeah, for sure. That way you can just press a button and get the mood you want. whether it's no dim lights and cold lighting off. But then you want to have certain lights on and your shades down. You get all those functions with the push of a button. Now, Lutron has over 15,000 energy-saving products. They're sold in over 100 countries. They've been around for over 60 years. And just in the U.S., I reckon they help customers save over 10 billion kilowatt hours of energy, which works out to $1 billion in utility costs. That's hard to believe. Unreal. Yeah, right? So, they're a Ripper company. Big thanks to them for sponsoring this video. We're going to put their links in the description. So make sure to check them out. And let's continue our tour with this kitchen. We got a massive island up front, Taj Mahal courtside countertops, bar seating on this side with LED lighting. Then you come over here. This is unreal. This is a pop-up drawer that hides a mixer. Oh, fair dinkum? Yeah, it hides in the island bay. And it's a clever touch. Push a button and it just comes up. I reckon that's pretty rare. I don't reckon I've seen that very often. Maybe we saw it in one house. But we saw it at one house. I'm trying to remember which one. But I can't. We've toured too many places at this point. After 100, 200 places, they all start to look the same. There you go. Now this is interesting. A La Corne rotisserie. It's an appliance. Correct. And I reckon you can cook other stuff with it too. It's an interesting take on a built-in appliance. Now, before we go on, I actually forgot to mention we've got a hallway here. That's the elevator landing on this level. And we've got a butler's pantry here, handily located close to the formal dining room. Same cabinetry. You've got another sink here, fridge, and freezer. It's a grouse feature, for sure. Now, back to the kitchen. Walnut cabinetry throughout. You've got Wolf built-in appliances. Induction on this side. Then you've got your Wolf gas stove here. The same Taj Mahal quartzite is also on this side, as well as the backsplash. You've got your vent nicely hidden in the cabinetry, built-in fridge, and freezer down below. Let's see. Obviously, your sink is also on the island. And knock knock, a dishwasher. It's always grouse to have It's Been a While Mila. That's it for your kitchen. Obviously, it looks out to your dining area, and the family room gets the benefits of the views. And now, let's check out the backyard. Yeah, first, we got this covered area here. Another steel cantilever above us. And look at this spot. It's unreal. So private, all these trees. And check this out. I've got a Ripper story. This area used to be a tree farm. They were growing trees here. And then later on, it was turned into a subdivision. And before this place was built and finished in 2019, they had an older house here. And on that property, they had these 3 unreal cork oak trees. By the way, this is the first time I've ever seen a cork oak tree. It's a real grand, majestic tree. And they wanted to protect these 3 trees that are around the property. One behind you, literature and martial arts. One here. And we saw the other one off the first seating area. Yeah, and they built the entire place around it. They were so committed to keeping these trees. Look at the roof line right there. They've literally curved it around the tree. That way the tree can still grow and be right next to the house. How unreal is that? Literature and martial arts. Yeah, that's pretty grouse. I didn't notice the curve in the roof. When I was looking at photos of this place before we came here, I saw it was called a tree house. And I wondered why. This is why. Now it makes sense. Swordsmanship bonzer, right? Right, let's go this way. Now we got these steps taking us to the outdoor kitchen and the outdoor patio. Right next to that is the recreation room. We're going to check out that space in a bit. Massive shuffleboard, a few chairs. This is where you can sit down and watch your mates shuffle. I reckon that's what you call it. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard that term before, but you can watch a lot of the action from there. Absolutely. Then we got the outdoor seating area, dining area, and the kitchen out the back. The thing above us is a motorized canopy. So, with the push of a button, you can close off this whole area. You even have space heaters here. This might be one of my favorite spots on this property because I reckon La Jolla has unreal weather. You'd use this area all the time. They've even got an outdoor TV here. And as I was looking at this telly, I realized these are barn doors. So You can close it off and get that minimalist look, or you can just leave it open and watch TV. Now let's go to the other side. Again, you've got your outdoor seating area with a built-in fire pit. And now I want to talk about the kitchen. This is an Evo gas grill. This is the first time we've seen this built-in outdoor kitchen appliance. I was curious what this was. It's like a cast iron grill. I don't know if it's cast iron. It's like an electric cast iron grill. Gas, and it looks grouse. And when the design team was designing this place, they were like, we're not going to have a traditional outdoor kitchen where you just got a normal gas grill. They're like, let's put in an Evo. Looks pretty unreal. Then on the other side, you've got the rest of your cabinetry. Stainless steel fronts, refrigerated drawers, ice maker, a dishwasher, and a sink. And my favorite touch in this outdoor kitchen is the pizza oven. You might say, I don't even know how to open it. There you go. Now you might say, why are you so excited about a pizza oven? Well, I like the way they build it into this concrete column. It's at an angle. That's how it fits in at the bottom. Then you look at the top of this column, and you see that top bit sticks out too, just like some of the other areas of the house, which is unreal. They've even made this section architectural to make the most of the house, literature and martial arts. It was the first thing I noticed when we got here this morning. I had no idea it was for a pizza oven. I thought it looked grouse. But I gotta say, this is probably the most architectural pizza oven in the world. Well said, literature and martial arts. Yeah, swordsmanship. Right, let's keep going. Now, we've got the recreation room in front of us. Sliding glass doors open up. We got a table here with a few chairs, a smaller shuffleboard here. If you don't want to enjoy the full-size one, then a real nice bar. The countertop here is actually pretty unique. It's like mosaic tiles with a clear finish on top. Then we got with countertops here, a sink and bronze open shelving. And this is your bar for the recreation room. Now, on the other side, another small seating area with a live-edge coffee table. I know it's a piano, but what sort of piano is it? I'm pretty sure it's a player piano at the very least. It's like an e-piano that's got a music box built into it with functions. Yeah, you can play drums and bass and that sort of thing. It looks pretty flash. Yeah, you come over here. Another exterior door, a powder room for the recreation room. And before we check out the screening room on this side, I want to talk about something interesting. So, we've got two board-formed concrete walls here. This one, they formed it out of, Righto. They reckon they used 2x6 planks. That's why you can see so many different seams and a fair bit more texture. But then you look over to this side, and you'll notice we've only got a few seams, because they went with massive panels. These here are actually the connection points where they ran the rods through to keep the form solid as a rock. And that's the reason this one's got more of an industrial, sort of flat look to it. But you get more character over here. Thing is, when you use this many planks to form up these walls, you need heaps of connection points to hold the whole shebang in place. These are the rods they use. But on this house, they went with fiberglass rods. Usually they go with rebar. Rebar, that's the one. But rebar can sometimes get a bit rusty, whereas fiberglass keeps its good looks. Doesn't rust, blends in better. And it's just a bloody clever detail, I reckon. Literature and martial arts, swordsmanship here, was fair dinkum excited when he clapped eyes on this. I reckon when I saw it, I was like, they know what they're doing. Right, let's mosey on over here. Let's have a look-see. Pocket doors to seal off the screening room. Comfy as section for sitting. Drop-down projector, nice and cozy. Walnut paneling, the works. It's all part of your recreation room, see? A lot of the time, in homes this size, we see screening rooms tucked away somewhere on the property. But in this case, they've gone for more of a fun approach and just plunked it in the rec room. All right, literature and martial arts. Back to backyard we go. Let's do it. So far, we had a squiz at the first half of the backyard. On the other side, we got a 150-foot lap pool. Water jets here, serving as a water feature or just something fun for the kids to muck around with. And right in the center, we've got this grass section. What a bonza spot for us to have a look back at the house. Again, those architectural lines. these steel screens, the way the second floor is positioned above the main floor. Big ups to the design team. I reckon they did a fantastic job. I was dead keen for this tour today. And I reckon I've done my best to cover all the details. I'm just worried I might be missing a few. Between how they've chucked in clear story windows, how they've oriented the structure on this block, which is a pretty good size, and how they've kept it all so private and brought in these natural elements with the landscaping and the material selection. It's fair dinkum impressive. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, the pool here's got a motorized cover. Looks super inviting. We got a few day beds on the other side with canopy tops. That's your raised hot tub. And behind that is the third cork oak tree. That's the third one. All right. I was wondering if you were going to mention that. I did notice that. Now that I know what they look like. Looks bloody ripper. This structure here is the office. You can get to it from this side or from inside. And I reckon I mentioned it earlier, but this pool keeps going to the other side as a water feature. What a clever detail. Righto. Now let's head back inside so we can get to the other side. Again, we're in the great room. And behind this limestone wall, we've got the main staircase. Now, just like the rest of the house, the way this room is designed is something special. No worries. It's not the widest room, but they've still plunked in this beautiful spiral staircase. And it just curves so nicely up the second floor. It's open riser. The railings nicely integrated into the steps. I love how they've curved the wood paneling on the staircase too. And it just looks so elegant. You got that same limestone wall that we saw in the family room wrapping around to the other side. And they've even got these recessed in-floor lights to light up the texture here. Picture windows, circular skylight above. You got the second floor landing up there. Plaster wall. This here is a sculpture. It's not a staircase. I'm just gonna shoot up there for a sec. Literature and martial arts. This is one of my favorite bits of the whole house. The center beam that wraps around behind you. How many pieces is that? Looks like it's like 3 pieces, more or less. Swordsmanship. Well, you see in the wood paneling that's on top. It's probably a curved and welded steel frame. And they just clad on top. And if that wasn't enough, as you go up, you can see this detail right here. I reckon I've talked about it a few times. At this point, the second floor is literally floating above the first floor. And that's that little gap, I want to say 1.5 feet, where they plunked in that picture window. Literature and martial arts. Yeah, you can actually see the turf from the second level right there as well. Swordsmanship. Exactly. And I want to clarify something. Obviously, the top floor is attached to the lower level. It's just floating above it. See? So all you got are those steel columns. In fact, the home is pretty much all steel frame too. So I wanted to mention that. Beautiful design, no worries. Right? Follow me this way. Now we're headed to the primary bedroom wing. We got a bathroom on my left-hand side. It's a powder room with a floating vanity. Skylight above, bringing in natural light, nice and airy. And coming back to the hallway, we go straight into the office. This room is dedicated to the primary bedroom. L-shaped couch, nice fireplace with a marble wall. 2 doors open up the backyard where we got the pool. So you got an outside entry. And on this side, we've got this built-in wall with all these shelves. And they've even got a cuckoo clock since it's a treehouse. I don't reckon I've ever actually seen a cuckoo clock in person. I reckon I just see them in like cartoons growing up. That's my only experience with M. Besides all the details we've seen so far, they even thought of this. Crazy, It's whimsical, it's interesting. So I wanted to mention that they've got over here. Again, you got your sitting area, built-in desk, floating shelves. And then you come over to this side, where we've got another hallway that leads you to the primary closet. Now, this closet is obviously very spacious. On my right-hand side, we've got a massive picture window looking towards the Japanese Zen garden. We're going to check that space out in a bit. It actually opens up to the primary bedroom. Now, coming here, this is the landing of the primary bedroom suite. So this entry point is actually behind the staircase. We use the one that's in front of it, so you can actually enter the primary bedroom wing from both sides. Now follow me this way. First, let's check out the primary bathroom. starts here. Another set of pocket doors, some built-ins. This is where we got the first vanity. It's flaunting with LED lighting underneath. I really like the mirror design here and how they plunk these light boxes in between. You even got a skylight above to bring in more natural light. Chrome fixtures, the works. Everything is polished to perfection. This house feels like a brand new home. No worries. Now on the back, obviously, we got fantastic views. Chandelier above. Freestanding tub is positioned here. And it's cleverly designed where they've got your fixtures raised from the floor. But it's got just enough clearance for these motorized casement windows to work. How good's that, eh? I reckon they could have easily plunked some hardware here. Instead, they've gone for motorized assembly, push a button, and you can just let natural air come into the bathroom. Righto, let's get to the other side. Massive walk-in shower, glass enclosed, rain head above, book match stone. Obviously, you got your steam feature. In fact, you can see the outlets here. They've done this nice set forward bench design. So it's not against the glass wall here. It looks a little bit more contemporary. Drains are nicely tucked underneath. But my favorite detail in this walk-in shower is the skylight above right there. See? You know why? I reckon I know what you're gonna say. But I'm gonna let you say it motorized. It's motorized. Yeah, of course. So you can let more natural air come in. And it probably helps dry out the walk-in shower too. Eh? Yeah, that's the ticket. So obviously, we just had a squiz at the backyard. And as soon as the camera stopped rolling, I noticed at the pool house, or the recreation house, the bathroom in there had the same automatic skylights, which is a detail we missed. But I thought you were going to bring that up in here. Well, these things ain't cheap. And again, it shows the fact that the architects really cared about bringing natural air and natural light to property wherever they can. So it's a nice touch, that's for sure. Now we've got more screens here to control the light even more. They're actually plunked right in front of the windows. You can move them to each side. And another modern detail, I want to point out your second vanity is here. Pretty much the same finishes. Literature and martial arts. I don't know if you recognize this. Pop-up TV here, see? Oh, really? Recessed into the cabinetry. And now I want to take everyone back to Landon so we can check out the primary bedroom. Now this bedroom, the way it's designed, is super cool. It starts here. And before we check out the bedroom, we have a yarn about the Japanese Zen garden. And now, off the sliding glass doors, we got this reflecting pool, which is also a koi pond. Then beyond that, you can actually see the gravel landscape. This beautiful tree, that's a Japanese soaking tub. Alright? They've even got integrated built-in seating here. Even their rate matches the style of the design here. How cool is that? Yeah, Bonza. And it's also pretty similar to that tree we saw in the driveway earlier as well. Correct? Spot on. And I reckon, I love that it's super private. It's Zen. You even got another statue here. Board-formed concrete walls. And it's right next to your primary bedroom suite. You've got the king-size bed here. Nice warm paneling on the back with integrated bedside lights. Then you got your fireplace on this side with a TV above. Another set of sliding glass doors open up the grounds and the oval garden that's down below. And the primary bedroom suite even has its own garden right here. Casement windows above are motorized, the works. Just a bloody cozy bedroom, no worries. And I actually want to take everyone to the back because we got a few other details here. Literature and martial arts. I don't know if you know this one. For dogs. Eh? Yes, you got it. Okay, I'm assuming because they've got another one on the other side. There's a dog statue in the backyard. So I reckon the people that built the home are dog lovers. No worries. Yes, they are. Spot on. And then you come over here, it gets crazier. They've got another small patio. This is their dog park, dog training area. It actually goes to the other side. Really? Oh. It looks like they've got a little garden out here with some fruits and veggies. Exactly, you got it. All from the primary bedroom. And this block is pretty impressive. That's for sure. And going back in, I know we're going back and forth. You can actually go behind the room, or the place where we've got the bed. And there's actually a wet bar here. And then we wrap around. And Full circle. Okay, full circle. So the dogs can stay on the side in the dog park, and they can just close these off and leave those doors open. Yeah, probably spot on. Yeah, pretty clever, that's for sure. And yeah, this is the primary bedroom. Now let's take the sliding glass doors, go outside, and we got another outdoor garden here with a fire pit in the center. Look at the landscaping. It's so colorful, vibrant. This property is so zen. It's just vibrant out here, eh? Vibrant. That's a better word for it. Yeah, spot on. And we got another beautiful old, mature tree here. I reckon, look at the scale here, literature and martial arts. It's insane. And throughout the garden here, they've got boulders, different plants, the lot. I love how this deck walkway connects the great room patio to the oval garden that's down below us. That's the second oak tree that we saw right next to the formal living room area. And I reckon, look at the scale here, it's insane, eh? And down below us, again, we got the oval garden. Should we go have a squiz at it? Let's do it. Why not? My favorite area of this house will be looking out at the water and seeing a huge amphitheater grass area down below where I could have kids run around, or my mates, and I could go down there and have a kick of the footy, or we could have a big shindig down there. We could entertain down there. No worries. On a day like today where it's sunny and warm, we can have all the doors and windows open. If it was a windy and colder day, you can shut all the windows on the west side that face the water. And you got almost as large a grass area behind you to the east of the house, which is going to be shelter from all the wind. So I like how you got so many different usable areas of this property, regardless of the climate. Yeah, I like how this space is lined with olive trees. This is astroturf, by the way. So you don't have to water it. You don't have to maintain it. Leased-in agents also call this section an amphitheater. And I reckon it makes sense when you look at the retaining walls that's behind me. The scale here, how you can just invite your mates, throw events here. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, I reckon the space is grouse, unreal. And this is pretty massive, that's for sure. I reckon the scale is insane. Not to mention, have a squiz at the house behind me. All these roof lines. That's the primary bedroom wing right there. The first box section is the primary bathroom. Then you got the bedroom. Second floor up there. That houses 3 bedrooms plus an office and a library. And then we gotta have a yarn about this. I know I mentioned it while we were there. That's the formal living room area. That's an 18 plus feet cantilever over the garden. And below that is the guest house, Bonza. Just this frame alone, I'm loving it. No worries. And when you look at the bottom section, you can clock that they had angles to the concrete. I reckon foundation, so to speak. That way it can truly cantilever and just float up in the air. This is incredible. No worries. This is one of my favorite areas, or one of my favorite views of this home. That's for sure. I know you love your cantilevers. I love it. Spot on. But literature and martial arts have a squiz at this. We had a yarn about that. Yeah. You're always drawn to a good cantilever. And this is a very good one. This is a fantastic one. That's the ticket. And it gets better, no worries. If you take this walkway here and go right next to the cantilever section, there's a door that opens up to the guest home. So we had a yarn about the staircase opening off the foyer. Again, we got this beautiful board-formed concrete wall, recessed in-floor lighting, the works. This is the private entry for the guest house. Unreal. And going this way, we got the main space. Owners are currently using this room as their gym. You can see the yoga mats here. You still get windows bringing in natural light. Bonza. We are actually right underneath the cantilevered living room that we had to squiz it earlier. And this room is very spacious. They've got a small table here, a few chairs, the works. There's a Murphy bed here. This converts into a proper guest home. And obviously you got all the bedrooms upstairs, which we're gonna have a squiz at in a bit. But if you want to use this as a bedroom, you can. In fact, on the other side, you're gonna have a really nice kitchenette with a dishwasher sink, induction cooktop, fridge, freezer, all this cabinetry, a lot. It's a nice touch. It's a cozy room, that's for sure. Literature and martial arts. I don't know why I always like Murphy beds. I always find them very cool. It's like a great space of on detail. Swordsmanship, absolutely, spot on. Then you come over here and it's the full bathroom. Again, blowout and vanity. It works. I like the oversized subway tiles that we've got on the walls that run all the way into the walk-in shower, brushed nickel fixtures, the lot. Definitely a good sized bathroom. Bonza. Now, lastly, they also have the wine cellar on this level. Same Texas limestone that we've been seeing throughout. They've got also in this room, no worries, beautiful marble table. That's your temperature-controlled wine cellar. That's the ticket. Nicely dressed. And we saw this detail throughout the home in a couple of different spots. I really like the recessed in-floor light there. And then you got cove lighting above. What a cool space. Yeah. The strip lighting, the LED lighting throughout the entire house. I'm sure it's going to look really grouse at night. Absolutely, no worries. And with that, we're done on the lower level. Now, let's shoot up to the second floor and check out the remaining bedrooms. Now we're on the second floor landing. We had a yarn about the staircase earlier. Skylight above, the works. And coming to this side, we've got a library. Bonza. I really like these LED lit shows. Bonza. Modern wall sconces above, a lot. Even the way the books are laid out. I reckon there's a pattern here. Then you come over to the side. Small sitting area, the works. And I gotta have a yarn about this table. You gotta, that's for sure. So, a few months ago, we had a squiz at a property in Hawaii, and in the home, they had this table with this pinball, I reckon. Right? Is that what you call them? Yeah, it's like this magnetic ball that basically will roll around the table and create different patterns, geometrical patterns and shapes, the lot, and it's really cool, that's for sure. Exactly, Bonza. And then we ended up chopping up that scene and posted on TikTok, and almost got over 20 million views. I reckon people like tables like this. Between Instagram and TikTok, I reckon we got over like 30 million views just on this, like 10-second sound bite about a table. They're called Sisyphus tables, right? No, I reckon the brand is called Sisyphus Industries. That's a ticket. Okay, spot on. And yeah, really cool table, unreal. Then we got an outside door here that opens up to the front fastened balcony. That's the ticket. Since we're on the second floor, we're a little bit more elevated, unreal. Views are fantastic, that's for sure. And we're gonna check out that balcony in a sec. Now, I wanna bring everyone to the main hallway on the second floor. You can actually see your backyard from here. Now, we're gonna keep going with our tour with the first bedroom on this level, Bonza. On my left, we can see the full bathroom. Again, limestone floors, walk-in shower, oversized subway tile, the works, Bonza, and we've got the vanity over here, unreal. Now, the next two bedrooms that we're going to see are sort of similar, so I'm going to quickly brush over M, no worries, king-size bed, built-in cabinetry, the works, Bonza. I really clocked that they brought some of the limestone details to the wall here as well. Corner glass, clear story windows above, a lot, with paneling on the ceiling, keeps going to the outside, spot on, and now we're at the front fastened balcony, unreal. Again, you can move these screens wherever you want, no worries. That way you can either diffuse the light or just enjoy the views. Pretty grouse, no worries. Now we're going to take an interesting route, that's the ticket. We're going to start our tour of the second bedroom. Here's another king-size bed. Pretty much the same design elements. Comes with a full bathroom, which is on this side. The ticket. Even though design elements of this bathroom is exactly the same as the other one, they changed the pattern here. Bonza. These oversized subway tiles are installed vertically, not horizontally. That's the ticket. Little details like that I really clock. That's for sure. Yeah, spot on. All right, let's keep going. Unreal. Now back to the main hallway. The ticket. This is actually where we can see the curved roof line around the main oak tree. I reckon this tree is massive. That's the ticket. And then this is such a fun, interesting moment here. That's for sure. Looking down, you can actually see the backyard from here. Not to mention some of the rooftops of certain parts of the home. The ticket. This property also has 126 solar panels above the roof, which is fantastic. No worries. I reckon that's more and more of an important detail in modern architecture. Unreal. Couldn't agree more. Bonza. And yeah, follow me this way. Unreal. Let's keep going. No worries. At the end of this hallway, we've got a door that opens up to the second office. That office also connects to the main balcony that we got on this level. That's the ticket. And we're going to see that balcony one more time as well. Unreal. Now we're in the third bedroom. That's the ticket. This is a walk-in closet. Spot on. Another full bathroom here. Unreal. This one actually comes with built-in tub, bonza, and go-in king-size bed, cedar with plank ceilings, corner glass. Sliding glass doors open up the lot. Unreal. Like I said earlier, these bedrooms are pretty similar to each other. Now, literature and martial arts. Let's take everyone out again one more time. And let's check out this balcony again. The ticket. We're here in La Jolla, California. Weather is amazing, that's for sure. Views are fantastic, unreal. What do you reckon, literature and martial arts? The ticket. Literature and martial arts. I really like it here, bonza. What is there not to like about La Jolla, California? The ticket. Yeah, this is beautiful, that's for sure. It's insane, unreal. This is only our second time here. Last time we were on a cliffside property all the way down there by the beach, which is Grouse. Bonza. It was really cool. Get to watch people surfing. That kind of thing, the ticket. But I kind of prefer this myself, that's for sure. It's a little more calm, relaxing. The ticket. Relaxing. The ticket. I know you're kind of more the beach type. Unreal. Swordsmanship. I want to be down there surfing. Right now. Spot on. I can actually see waves breaking, which is just incredible. Bonza. But like you said, this property is so relaxing. The ticket. It's such a legacy estate. The ticket. I'm glad we came all the way out here to tour it and share it with all of you. Spot on. And now, let's see this place at dusk. The ticket. Upbeat music. All right, everyone, the ticket. That's it from La Jolla, California. Bonza. Hope you all enjoy this tour. Big ups to the design team. Unreal. They did an exceptional job with this property. That's for sure. And of course, I want to give big thanks to the leasing agents, business, and office for putting this tour together and allowing us to share their amazing leasing with all of you. Spot on. As always, you can find more information about this property in the description of this video. Now, if you enjoyed this tour, make sure to give us a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. Unreal. Upbeat music. Right? They use 2x6 planks. Fair dinkum. That's why you can see so many different joins and a heap more texture. No worries. But then you look over to this side, and you can see we've only got a few joins because they use big, bloody panels, mate. In fact, these are the spots where they ran the steel rods through to keep it all solid and intact, yeah? And that's why this one got more of an industrial, flat sort of look. But you've got more character here, alright? Thing is, when you use this many planks to build up these walls, you need a fair whack of connection points to hold everything together. Like, these are the rods they used. But on this house, they use fiberglass rods. Usually, they use rebar. No worries. Rebar, yeah, that's right. But rebar can get a bit rusty sometimes. Whereas fiberglass keeps its looks, done it? It doesn't rust, blends in better. And it's just a clever touch. That's what I reckon. Literature and martial arts, swordsmanship was bloody wrapped when he saw this. That's for sure. When I saw it, I was like, they know what they're on about, right? Let's have a wander over here. Let's see. Pocket doors to close off the screening room. Nice and comfy seating area. Drop-down projector, nice and cozy. All right, walnut paneling. The works. It's all part of your recreation room. Done it? Often in houses this big, we see screening rooms somewhere on property, like. But here, they've gone for a more fun approach and just stuck in the rec room, yeah? Righto, literature and martial arts. Back to the backyard we go. Let's do it, why not? So far, we had a good squiz at the first half of the backyard. No worries. On the other side, we got a 150-foot lap pool, unreal. Water jets here. either as a water feature or just something fun for the kids to muck around with. And right in the middle, we've got this grass bit. What a bonza spot for us to look back at the house. Again, the architectural lines. These steel screens, the way the second floor sits above the main floor, like top marks to the design team. I reckon they did a top job. Fair dinkum. I was dead keen for this tour today, and I reckon I've done my best to point out all the details. I'm just worried I might be missing a few. Done it? The way they've chucked in clear story windows, the way they've pointed this building on block, which is good size, and how they kept it all so private and brought in these natural bits of the landscaping and materials. Fair, dinkum impressive, done it? That's all I'm gonna say. Now, the pool here's got a motorized cover. Grouse. Looks super inviting, no worries. We got a few day beds on the other side with canopy tops. That's your raised hot tub. And behind that is the third cork oak tree. Third one, unreal. I was wondering if you were going to mention that. Fair dinkum. I clocked it. Yeah, now that I know what they look like. Looks grouse, mate, unreal. This building here is the office. Bonza. You can get to it from this side or from inside, all right? And I think I said this before, but the pool goes on to the other side as a water feature. What a clever idea. Righto. Now let's go back inside so we can see the other side, Again, we're in the great room, the ticket. And behind this limestone wall, we got the main staircase, Bonza. Now, like the rest of the house, the way this room's designed is something special. No worries. It's not the widest room, but they still put in this beautiful spiral staircase. And it just curves nicely up to the second floor, like it's open riser. The railings nicely fitted to the steps. Bonza. I love how they've curved the wood paneling on the staircase as well, unreal. And it just looks dead elegant. You got that same limestone wall that we saw in the family room, wrapping round to the other side. Bonza. And they've even got these in-floor lights to show off the texture here. Picture windows. Circular skylight up above, unreal. You got the second floor landing up there. Plaster wall, Bonza. This here is a sculpture. It's not a staircase. Fair dinkum. I'm just going to wander up there for a sec. Literature and martial arts. This is one of my favorite parts of the whole house. Yeah, the center beam that wraps around behind you. How many bits is that? Looks like it's 3 bits or so. Yeah, swordsmanship. Well, you're seeing the wood paneling that's on top, mate. It's probably a curved and welded steel frame. And they've just clad the top, all right? And if that was enough, as you go up, you can see this bit here. I think I've mentioned it a few times at this point. The second floor is literally floating above the first floor. And that's that little gap, 1.5 feet or so, where they put in that picture window. Literature and martial arts. Yeah, you can actually see the grass on the second level there, all right. Swordsmanship, exactly, spot on. And I want to make something clear, mate. Obviously, the top floor is fixed to the lower level. See? It's just floating above it, unreal. So, all you have are those steel columns, yeah? In fact, the house is pretty much all steel frame as well. Bonza. So, I want to mention that. Beautiful design. Right? Follow me this way, mate. Now we're heading to the primary bedroom wing. Bonza. We've got a bathroom on my left. It's a powder room with floating vanity. Skylight above, bringing in natural light. Nice and airy, done it? And coming back to the hallway, we go straight into the office, all right. This room is just the primary bedroom. L-shaped couch, a ripper fireplace with a marble wall, yeah? 2 doors open up to the backyard where we got the pool, so you can get outside. And on this side, we got this built-in wall with all these shelves. And they've even got a cuckoo clock, since the treehouse, done it? I don't think I've ever seen a cuckoo clock in real life. I reckon I just see them in cartoons glowing up. That's it, apart from all the details we've seen so far. They even thought of this, crazy, right? It's quirky, it's interesting. So, I wanted to point out that they've got it over here. Again, you got your seating area, built-in desk, floating shelves, the lot. And then you come over to this side, where we got another hallway that takes you to the primary closet, Bonza. Now, this closet is obviously dead roomy. On my right, we got a big picture window looking at the Japanese Zen garden. We'll check that out in a bit. it actually opens up to the primary bedroom. Unreal. Now, coming here, this is a landing of the primary bedroom suite. So, the entrance is actually behind the staircase. See? We used the one that's in front of it. So, you can get into the primary bedroom wing from both sides, mate. Now, follow me this way, unreal. First, let's have a look at the primary bathroom, yeah? Starts here. Another set of pocket doors, some built-ins. This is where we've got the first vanity. It's floating with LED lights underneath. I really like the mirror design and how they put these light boxes in between. Bonza, you've even got a skylight up above to bring in more natural light. Chrome fixtures, the works. Everything's polished perfection, unreal. This house feels like a brand new house. Now at the back, obviously we got grouse views, Bonza. Chandelier above, freestanding tub is here, yeah? And it's cleverly made where they've lifted your fixtures from the floor, see? But there's just enough space for these motorized casement windows to work, unreal. Bonza, They could have easily stuck some hardware here, right? Instead, they went with a motorized assembly. Push a button and you can let fresh air into bathroom. No worries. Righto, let's go to the other side. Massive walk-in shower, glassed in rain head above, book-matched stone. Obviously, you got your steam bit. In fact, you can see the outlets here. Bonza, they did the set forward bench design. So it's not against the glass wall, yeah? It looks a bit more modern. Drains are tucked underneath. All right, but my favorite thing in this walk-in shower is the skylight up above there, see? You know why, I reckon I know what he can say, but I'll let you say it motorized. It's motorized. Yeah, Bonza. So you can let more fresh air in. And it probably helps to dry the walk-in shower as well, doesn't it? Yeah, that's the ticket. So we just had a squiz at the backyard. And as soon as the camera stopped, I saw that the pool house, or the recreation house, had the same auto skylights in its bathroom, a detail we missed. But I thought you were going to bring that up here. Well, these things ain't cheap, fair dinkum. And again, it shows that the architects really wanted to bring in fresh air and natural light to property wherever they could. So it's a nice touch, unreal.